Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to Sohum Reactions. Peace, love, and positivity to you. Today's request comes from Perry, who's introducing me to the guitarist's guitarist, Ronnie Montrose. See, I had never heard of Ronnie before, but the title, guitarist's guitarist, should tell you all that you need to know. He's not going to be the most popular player ever, but he's certainly known amongst his peer group, and at a certain point, that's really all you care about as an artist, is to have the respect of other artists. If taken to the extreme, an artist doesn't require respect from anybody, only themselves. But regardless, I'm very curious to hear just what makes Ronnie so special as a player. And the song we're going to be listening to today, Love You Too, is actually a cover of a Beatles track. So we're not going to get to hear his original work today, but we will hear how he decides to re-envision a classic. So I'm excited to check this out. Once again, thank you to Perry for the request. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, I have a very specific flashback to my childhood where my parents would put on these old, classic Bollywood movies. Many of it would depict the historic fight, the Mahabharat. That's in the Hindu scriptures, the holy text, Bhagavad Gita. And so often when I would watch these episodes, the music in the background would sound exactly like this. The tabla, you can kind of hear the hand drumming, and the very specific twang of a sitar is what I'm picking up here. I know we're 12 seconds deep, but it feels very Eastern influenced. I really feel like I'm walking right back into my childhood. Interesting production, though. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I have a lot to say. The re-intro of the sitar, but then the electric guitar channeling through, so they're level with each other until the guitar emerges. I'm reminded of Derek Trucks right now, and if you guys don't know Derek Trucks, part of his discography involves him drawing influence from Eastern music, and you'll hear moments like that. Wow.
Just go so fast, I turn around in fast. You don't get time to hang a sign on
me. Even in terms of vocal technique, these quick little flips, these little runarounds that are happening, very reminiscent of the stylings used in a lot of Indian ragas, is what they call them, R-A-G-A-S.
Love me while you can.
You guys didn't know I'm Indian.
A lifetime is so short.
Now I'm thinking of Maynard from Tool.
A new one can be bought. Look what you got, means such a lot to me. Make love all day long. Make love sing
expecting this. The bass line below, the guitar constantly bouncing off of that floor. The tabla still hitting away.
There's people standing round.
I don't even know where to start talking about this. There's so many interesting little components here. One thing up front that I wanted to say earlier, but I'm bringing it up here. The tone of this guitar to me is very, I want to say watery. It's like we're at the surface. Imagine like you're at a pool and you completely submerge yourself, but instead of like resurfacing, you stay like right below the film of that water where all the surface tension is, and you can still audibly hear somebody if they were to speak or sing to you underwater, but it's a little bit more muffled. That's kind of what I'm picking up in the guitar. That said, I can still hear all of the individual pitches, and what makes that part important is because we are traversing like multiple scales. We started in like a major place, then went minor, and then I think went Lydian for a moment, and then kind of dissolved into something more chromatic towards the tail end, just in service of the chaos. But all of this song in production is like brimming with this spiritual energy, which I think is very prototypical of a lot of Indian music. Oftentimes that will just come from a single droning note that routinely is returned back to, almost like a mean pitch within the song. And every so often, we recenter, we take that deep breath in, and it brings us back to whatever tonal center. But seemingly, Ronnie likes to travel a bit before we return.
Standing round will screw you in the ground. They'll fill you in with all their sins. You'll see. I'll make love to you.
Why am I reminded of the riff from that one Metallica song? If you know what I'm talking about, it's like some kind of Celtic riff. Whiskey in the Jar comes to mind, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the one. Interesting to hear that, to get that reference. I haven't thought about that song in probably 10 years.
I'll make love to you.
I'm also reminded of Van Morrison. A lot of references today. Keeps getting better. pretty. I'm really impressed by this song. Atmospherically, definitely when it comes to the instrumentation we hear, like I was not expecting us to have all of these references to South Asian, or you can call it Eastern music, but there we had it in the melody, in the vocal delivery, even in the instruments that we had, and then the sort of emergent tonality from the guitar at the beginning matched the sitar, but I think pretty early on the sitar drops out in favor of the electric guitar being the main thing. And a big part of like Indian music too is producing this spiritual atmosphere. It can often arise from that droning note like I was referring to, but not necessarily. Generally speaking, there's like a ringing out, which if you think about it in terms of like meditation or even just physics, music, sound, it's all frequency and it's all very physical. And one of the reasons we meditate and we chant to, certain frequencies like Om, and you kind of hold it, and then the nitrous oxide starts to build in your nose and you get connected with your physicality in a real way. It's all because of the way frequency interacts with our physiology. It felt woo-woo for a time, even for me. And then when I started to understand mechanistically why breath work, why meditation, why just introspection is so powerful, then I actually started to invest more effort and energy into that part of my life. And I don't want to veer too far into the spiritual direction, but a lot of music like this sort of will draw out that commentary within me, because that is like the time and place in my childhood where I learned a lot of that. And only now in my like later 20s, I'm starting to really like accept those things as fact and actually, apply it to my own existence. And well, it works tremendously well. And the whole point being, a lot of music like this will produce frequencies to sort of, how can I say this? This kind of music, I hear like these frequencies being produced and allowed to just exist in the atmosphere. And those are the meditative frequencies that often are associated with meditation. So interesting style. I don't know if this is like Ronnie's bread and butter, or if this is something that he kind of stumbled into. What level is he at when it comes to like this Eastern influence? In terms of like his ability, definitely a shredder. He's got a lot of creative ideas, and I think especially melodically. I will say though, despite like the electric guitar tone and the sitar like matching in that moment, otherwise, like I'm not the biggest fan of the super watery tone. I would prefer something a little bit more clear, where I can more discern with my ears the edges of where that frequency starts and stops. But that frequency ended up like blending into the atmosphere and contributes to the overall feeling. So despite the song being extremely guitar heavy, I would almost present the counterpoint that the presence of the guitar relative to how much it's actually contributing to the track is a little bit less than the overall, contributes a little bit less to the overall feel of this track than I was expecting. I hope at least part of that makes sense. Not a bad song. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite song melodically, but I love the kind of approach to this style, because it's rare for Western music to even go this direction. And anytime like I start hearing those elements, my ears perk up. So I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you, Perry, for the request. I would not have known this was out there if it wasn't for you. If you all enjoyed the reaction and would like to request one yourself, you can do so by using the first link in the description box. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.